Hello everyone and welcome to my Gallywix Mythic guide. With the amount of damage you have now, it's possible to skip the going to the last segment, but we'll still just show it anyway because, you know, why not? What I'll do is I'll go through the assignments and what we've set up, and then I'll go through P1 and then I'll go through P2 and we'll do it like that. So there'll be a bit of a raid plan showing, and then I'll go through the phase and then I'll be a raid plan again and then go through the last phase, okay? So yeah, let's get into that raid plan. So these raid plans do cover the entire fight, but realistically there's only really three screenshots that are important. So they're the ones that I go through. So here is the start of the fight, right? The boss is going to jump down where you're all stacked on the skull marker that will be down, okay? So obviously where the boss is right now. And then you've got these segments that you split into, okay? So what's important is that the way we've done it is we put melee in the front and then ranged around the back. This situation here is because me and my other tank can just stack on top of each other as close as we like to the boss, and it actually gives these three ranged a lot of space. So although it shows as, you know, one of the healers being in close, what it means is we're like right in here stacked, not taking any damage, and they have this whole space to themselves. So it's actually quite nice. Yeah, so what you want to do here is you just want to make sure that you're putting melee in the front, you're putting ranged in the back, and everybody understands their quadrant. There's nothing wrong with basically stopping and just making sure where the boss is coming down, they understand where they should be starting. Okay, so this line will actually start like here, basically, but it won't do any damage until it gets around here, and then they know where they should be. So this is the first thing you need to sort out, where people will be. Okay, the next thing you need to sort out is soaks. Okay, so we do it a little bit differently to everybody else, or not a little bit differently. I've seen it done many ways. Essentially, we don't separate the healers from the other soaks, which means that it's completely and utterly brainless. You don't need to think about anything other than what number soak are you. But it does mean that you probably require a little bit more HPS and the healers take a little bit more damage. So what we do is we put the 4 healers with these 2 soaks on top of each other into canister 1. So the 4 healers plus me are soaking both of the healer absorbs and canister 1. So obviously a big old absorb going on them, but that's fine. Number 2 is the other tank, and then 4 melee. Okay, number 3 is your ranged that aren't very good at moving. And then number 4 is your most mobile ranged. Obviously, you've got a gateway, so it's not too bad. And because of our comp, we actually ended up putting a warrior in here as well. But they wouldn't actually have had to do all the soaks, but we can get through to that later. So this is how we set this up. We just split it into 1, 2, 3, and 4. This means that you basically never have to worry about the not being 3 people in the soak thing, and it's pretty safe. As long as you can heal through it, it's pretty safe this way. Okay, so this is the next thing you want to look at setting up. And then the final thing that you're going to want to look at setting up will be where your raid is standing. So it's probably better to actually look at this in this sort of this picture, so where the triangles are coming in. So this right hand group that will be doing the first cone and the third cone should have immunities in it, because the third cone is one that you need immunities for. So what you want here is this can be pretty much anyone that's not an MVP, and I'll go through all of the MVP stuff later on. You don't need to worry about that. But yeah, so this soak is anyone that's not an MVP. This soak is anyone that's not an MVP and has good cooldown / immunities. And then you have a couple of extra people that aren't MVPs that can just sort of act as backups to go into these triangles. So they're the 3 things that you want to get set up mainly. And you want to organize that this has at least 6 people in it, because you can do 5, but it just risks you blowing up. So I would say 6, and then you've also got like extras on each side that can help. Okay. Another good thing to set up, you don't have to, but it's good to set up, is that people understand when suppression comes in and you have to run away, that you find a buddy and you run with. Because if everybody just goes everywhere, you're going to cause issues, and no one runs towards the MVPs who will be situated here. No one goes there. All right, so it's good to just just to shore up with your people who's running in what direction when this comes in. So melee can stack, run this way, run this way, run this way, run this way, so you don't have like issues of where people are going. And then tanks, it doesn't kill you, you can just stay. Okay, so that's the general things you need to set up for this fight. And obviously you need to set up who's going to be the bomb carriers, and we can go through that when we're looking at the video. So yeah, let's move on. Okay, so the start of the fight. You're all stack on skull. Your tank will pull, because if your tank doesn't pull, someone's going to die. You then run towards the boss. You find your section. You can see that the lightning spawns, doesn't do damage straight away, and then you're in your section, okay? The further away from the boss you are, if you have a lightning tether, the more damage it does. So if you're moving back and back and back, you're going to take more and more damage. You don't want to start using cooldowns realistically until the boss gets to about 50% on the timer. Okay, and you want to extend this part of the fight for as long as you can. At the same time, if people are struggling and you're getting low, there is no need to just watch people die. Just interrupt it, and you'll learn it as you go. So when frontals are coming in, you do want the whole group to be facing this way, but just to go over first, we'll do the big batter bombs. So you and the other tank will rotate, whoever you are. You take it out of the group as far away as you can, and then you get 4 duds. Okay, you take all 4 duds. It takes a lot of damage. If you want to set up externals, you can. So what we did on this basically is we did alternate the big bad bomb. Okay, not a problem. But what we actually did is I went and I took every single dud every single time. Then the other tank took every single ego check every single time. It just makes it easier, and you don't need to like worry about who's doing what, or like someone misses a soak and when you're doing half and half or something like that. Just I did all the duds, he did all of the ego checks, and I took the boss when he was running out, and it was that simple. You just have to remember to take the boss back on the 3rd big set of bombs, basically. Okay, so you can see here while I'm off doing the bomb, we have everybody baiting this frontal and killing these ads. As important, and then when the bomb goes off, the rockets come in. So you can see everybody spreads with those rockets, make sure they're not hitting anyone and they're far enough out. Everybody else baits the frontal, not a problem. They've all spawned in one spot, the balls, which is fine. But yeah, so we've baited the frontal where we want to. You can see the person with the bomb goes and picks it up and puts it in, and essentially then you've got the soaks. But let's look at that again. So you can see what's important here is as the bomb comes off, the rockets go off. The people that have the rockets will not bait the frontal, so they just get out. They make sure none of their lines are facing towards us, and there's a nice big gap for us to go into. What you'll notice at the top is when that guy dies, so there, you see that bomb has spawned, it's picked up by a hunter, he runs it in, he charges it on those balls, and he drops it. Okay, and that's how you essentially do the bombs. There's a couple of harder ones later on, but that is how you do the bombs. Just to go through our bomb assignments, you can see we have hunters do the first 2, then we have a trusted melee, warriors okay for it because they've got good mobility, then a mage has to do number 4, pretty much. Maybe not has to be, but we think a mage has to do number 4, and then you can get your tank that's, you know, Demon Hunter or someone with an evoker. It can be any tank really to do the last one, but that's how we set it up. We'll go through the difficult ones there. Okay, so quickly just showing you the soaks. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 healers in 1, and you just make sure you get in your soak. Obviously, a lot of heal absorb onto the healers, and then this moves into the suppression, be under the boss, and then move when you see fire. Don't move early or you'll just, you know, really screw over other people. So yeah, this bit is pretty similar. Essentially, you go and you kill the ads. You make sure the technician is interrupted, and you're killing the technician first. And you do soaks first, so you pull them down. You'd make sure you're getting into your soak that you need to be in. Healers on 1 again. The other tank goes and does the big bomb. You're going to have rockets come in. They're not going to go for the bait. Everybody else is going to get in front of the boss to bait. And then essentially your second hunter, or whoever you've picked to do bomb second, is going to pick it up, charge them, and dunk them. Okay, so nice and straightforward, that one. And just for clarity, while this is going on, you can see that I get into the soak with the healers. I'll taunt the boss when the big bad bomb comes in, and then the other tank will go take the bomb out. I'll go with the group to bait the frontal, just to get the boss in position. And as soon as the boss is in position, I'll just go and do the duds. Okay. So I will always do the duds, and he's back in position tanking by then. Okay, so this 3rd set is the hardest part of the fight. Once you have nailed this, the fight will fall very quickly. So we run over, okay? We need to have the boss in a very specific position, so we get up to the top here. We then need to pull it over towards green. This is so I can go out with the bomb and not hit people. So we pull it slightly over. Everybody else has just stood in the bait position, so I go. I'm going to be with my duds, that's all fine. Then pull it back. Everybody baits here. Rockets go out and they go towards where their soaks are going to be. That's important. They need to go towards where their soaks are going to be. As soon as the frontal comes in, you take a gateway, you get in your soak. See how hard that was and how quick that was. I'll put it on slow-mo so you can see what happens. Okay, so you can see we're all stood there. Essentially, everybody is baiting at the top. The bomb's just gone off, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the rockets come in. These rocket people will go and stand near their soaks, so when the rockets come on, they can just go into their soaks nice and quickly. Everybody else is waiting for the frontal to be baited. Once the frontal is baited, what they're going to do is either going to take the gateway, or they've got like their instant travel, like the lock does, straight into their thing. Okay, then they go off, boom, 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 and the frontal goes off. Okay, and at this point, you're just hoping that you have, got 3 players in each soak quick enough, and you survived. We also put a barrier down on there because, it helps a lot. So yeah, that's a hard crossover where you need to make sure the rocket people are stood in good places, and you need to make sure that you're not knocking people out of the way, and then also you're just instantly going to your soak. Okay, so if you successfully do that, you have this set of ads spawn here. You used to have to take a technician out. You do not need to do that anymore. So you focus the technicians, make sure they're killed, and then you're going to need to have your tank. There's obviously soaks to do during it. You're going to need to have your tank and your mage pick up one of the balls. So you can see one ball is dropped up there, and our mage has gone to get it, and then they've also tried to get themselves safe away from the soak. The tank one, I don't know if it's been picked up yet, but we might not have killed the ad. I'm not sure. But essentially what you need to do here is you need to bait this frontal on this star mark. Okay, the rockets get out as normal. You can see that the mage has the bomb. Okay, they're then going to go and charge the bomb, and then they're going to run over to the green quadrant. Okay, there's no platform on this bomb, so they're going to run over to the green quadrant. They're going to jump off the platform with slow fall, dunk it, and then alter time back. Okay, and then you can see that section has been cut off, and that is the start of the intermission going into phase 2. So I just wanted to be clear on what our mage is doing there. So we're all over here, suppression happens, we all run up here. Okay, boss will be tanked facing towards star. All right, we're all going to be baiting here. Okay, and people will get bombs. I think you can see that here, and they run out. And essentially the frontal's going to go off. Okay, and then you're going to have one of the bombs. What's it called? Where is it? Let's see if I can find one. Doesn't look like I'm going to find a nice bomb. Oh, there we go. It's a few scanners or whatever. Then we're going to have basically the bomb drop somewhere. The mage is going to pick it up. They're going to go and get all of this nice lightning that's going to be down here. They're going to charge their bomb. They're going to run over here. This one's already been done. So they're going to slow fall off here. They're going to drop it in here. They're going to alter time back, and then they will come back. All right. And essentially, yeah, that'll all be done, and we'll be dealing with the next set of soaks and all of that kind of stuff. And then you'll get to this point where this is cut off. Okay. So I just wanted to reiterate that because I didn't actually have footage of it. Okay. And then just to show you the last set of duds as the tank. So you're baiting that frontal. You can go a bit earlier. They can be horrible. They can be around this middle bit. Here, do not panic. If something goes wrong, I get knocked over. Oh, I'm alive. My cooldown expires. Not great. These two are about to explode. Not great. But you have plenty of time. I'm miles away from my soak. You have time. You managed to get in them. It's okay. Just make sure you do your 4 duds, and everybody else will be fine. So something I've not mentioned yet is that the whole gimmick of this fight is that if someone who's picked up a bomb during the fight dies, you blow up. So you can see all the people I've highlighted. They are your MVPs as we move into the intermission. They need to be put in positions where they aren't going to die, and they need to be put in the middle of the room so that everybody can reach them healer-wise, and they are looked after. No one goes towards them. No one does anything weird with them. They are left alone to stay alive, essentially. Yeah, so in the intermission, what you're going to have is you're going to have the boss stop for a little while and ads spawn, okay? Melee will start these side of the ads, and then that lightning is going to go past. Ranged, you'll just need to make sure you're dipping in and out of these big mines that you can see going on behind you, just in and out. All you need to do, melee, is cross the middle line when it's safe to, and then get yourself in a position right over to the left-hand side and stand there. And essentially, the beam will stop. It won't stun you. It will just stop. Okay, there's a couple of sentries that the range need to deal with, and they just interrupt right at the end of the cast, and then you get into your position. So you can see I pull the boss across, so it's nicely in the middle. I've got my team on this side. They've got their team on that side. This is so boring. Nothing happens. Okay, you can take damage. Don't overlap stuff and take the piss, but like essentially the MVPs are placed in the middle of the room. Okay, and then the 2 sort of quadrants are split into the people that are soaking. The main thing you need to do is make sure that when this comes in, you've looked at the raid plan and you're running in a good direction. So you're not griefing the MVPs that are in the middle of the room. And then when you get a big bomb, you just move out. It won't kill you, but you make sure you move out and you're not going towards the MVPs. You're going away from the MVPs. Even then, the lightning won't kill you instantly. And yeah, then with rockets, you're not going towards the MVPs again. You're staying away from them. Soaking one little swirly on the floor that's red that comes from the rockets won't kill you. It's fine to soak, okay? So you can see we've just got to the second soak on the side, so I've taken it back now. Nothing's going on. Honestly, nothing's going on. So I'll just show you what it looks like from an MVP position. This isn't an MVP, but it's their position. You can see you have one set of circle spawn, and then you go into the middle, and you have the back set of circle spawn. This is for the intermission, and then you move to the back, and you have the middle set spawn, and that's it. You're just taking down those ads and moving in and out until the intermission is done, essentially. You can even survive one of those circles if you have a cooldown, if it gets really rough, but yeah. So moving into the actual intermission itself, sorry, the actual phase itself, you can see that we've got the MVPs with the marks on their head behind. And there's also a warrior in front of the lock here that's an MVP. So their job is to just not interact with them in any way. And if they need to, move, they don't go towards them. So you can see the suppression comes in. The MVPs are far enough away. They don't even need to think about it. Like, they might need to move, but they all move in a certain direction. So it's not griefing anyone. And then, yeah, just straight back to normal. It's such a chill fight. The bombs, there's so much space. They're nowhere near the MVPs down the middle. There's plenty of room. So just make sure that that's how you're playing it. And you're basically just not interacting with those people in the middle. Okay, so this is the hard crossover where you use immunities for the group on the right-hand side. Third, cone soak, they're second. Okay, so you can see here there's rockets, there's bombs, there's rockets. This could all be on your side. And within this section, and that's why you use immunities. We got really lucky, and it's actually outside of where we're soaking. So, we didn't actually need to worry about it. But essentially, if they're all in your section, then you would need to use the immunities and all of that kind of stuff to make sure that you're surviving there. And it just makes it a bit easier. Okay, so with the frontal in this phase, you want to bait it towards the melee clump like we've done here. Just so it doesn't go towards the MVPs. And just one thing you've got to look out for here is that you don't run into any of the balls that spawn. So you can see our paladin runs into one there. The suppression comes in straight afterwards. They're pretty much... You can get dispelled from it, but it's going to be hard to get out the suppression in time. So they fall, but we get them up, and that's fine. But just really watch out for those balls. Don't run into them because they'll screw you up. Okay, so the tank's going to go off and do their thing. They're going to go dunk in the section at the back. They're going to get an evoker to rescue them, and they're going to make the segment one bit smaller. Okay, so we're going to go into the intermission. The segment's been made smaller. You can see our healer has moved back to the back bit to make themselves a bit more safe. They move in, they move out. It's the exact same intermission as before. The only difference here is melee will have to move around one of the beams because there's not enough room. So they move round one, and then they get in, and then they can just stay in that corner again. So you just have to make sure you do move round one. Again, it's just dodge in and out, in and out. You've just got slightly less space. And a good example here of you can survive. He takes it to the face because he doesn't think he can get through quick enough, and nothing happens. All right. At this point, you just make sure you kill the ads, and then you make sure you have enough people in this last soak. And if you do that, the boss dies. You can even kill it before this point, but I just thought I would show you this anyway, just in case. So a very quick TLDR is basically do not let your MVPs die. Don't let anybody run anywhere near them. Make sure that you've got your soak sorted. Make sure that you've got your positions running for P2 so no one runs towards the MVPs. And make sure that you've got people that are doing the bombs that you trust, okay? 1 melee, 1 tank, 3 ranged, or 4 ranged, 1 tank. All of it can work. Just make sure that whoever is doing it is very, very strong mechanically, and you'll win the fight. Just thought I'd quickly show the melee perspective here, why you have to move out. So you see that beam, you have to move out. You've got plenty of time to do it. Then you can move back in. And then after that, you can just go into the corner. I think I move out again here, but you don't need to. You can just go into the corner. And then you should be all safe. And it's just soak that last thing and survive. And you're good. Okay. Yeah, so thank you for watching. And thank you everyone that's helped. I know the videos are a little bit later this season, but they should be a bit more on time next season. So yeah, if you need anything, reach out to me. I'll put some other videos out as well. And yeah, thank you for watching this tier. I really appreciate it. If you could leave a like and subscribe, I'll appreciate that as well. But yeah, thank you for watching, and enjoy your Galley kill.